Life of Ashoka and the turning point. So, in this section, we would understand how the empire of Ashoka was expanded and what were the changes that came into effect. The first thing we need to understand, as we have done in our previous session, is Ashoka was part of the Mauryan dynasty. Now, Mauryan dynasty, how and why it was important. The dynasties before the Mauryan dynasties, the important dynasties were Magad, and later on, after Magad, you had the Nanda dynasty. The last ruler of the Nanda dynasty was Dhananand, who was overthrown by Chandragupta Maurya, who was one of the major, who was the founders of the Mauryan dynasty. After Chandragupta Maurya, which we have studied in a separate lecture before, we have new hierarchies or the new rulers that were there. So after Chandragupta Maurya, there was Bindusar and Ashoka. The developments that we have seen so far explain that a lot of a region from Hindu Kush to Bengal and Himalayas to Narda was under the Mauryan dynasty with Chandragupta Maurya, who was a disciple of Chanakya. Now, Kaling was one of the major empires, and it was historically important that Kaling could not be defeated. It was a very, very powerful empire during that time. However, in 261 BC, Ashoka attacked the region of Kaling. Kaling during that time had a strong position with nearly 60,000 infantries, 10,000 horsemen, and 600 elephants that were there. There was a bloodshed and a severe war took place in which nearly 1 lakh people were killed and 1.5 lakh soldiers were sent to prison. And this was the turning point in the life of Ashoka. As a result, you have a policy which was the Digvijay policy changed to a Dharma Vijay policy. The Digvijay policy said that Ashoka was so powerful that he could conquest territories, but after the bloodshed that he witnessed, his heart changed and he started to follow a Dharma Vijay policy, which was the conquest of Dharma. So that was a transition that started with Ashoka's life, and he slowly and gradually adopted Buddhism. He not only adopted Buddhism, he also championed for the cause of spreading peace, non-violence, tolerance among the people, and as a result, he did numerous works for the same. He appointed Mahamatas. Now, Mahamatas were important because they were the officers who would look after the administrative works of the region. Roads were built up, wells were dug, official tours were started, and rest houses were built for the travelers. So, those were some of the major works that he started with, and his idea was to spread ahimsa, non-violence, show love, obey elderlies, and be truthful for the cause. And as a result, he ordered construction of monasteries across his territory. And as you can see, you have some of the major and the minor rock edicts and the locations of those that have been marked here. Dholi, Jakoda, Sopara, Girnar, Kandahar were some of the major places, the major rock edicts, and also besides that, there were pillar edicts in the region of Meerut, Delhi, Kosambi. So those were the areas where the edicts of Ashoka was found. Now, his ideas were inscribed, and these edicts were basically the royal commands that were laid down. Most of them were written in Prakrit. Now, Prakrit during that time was the language of common people, and the script in which it was written was the Brahmi script. However, the northwest region, the region of Kandahar, Shahbag, Manseher, was the area where Brahmi script was not popular, or Prakrit language was not popular, we could say. So, the texts were written in Greek, the texts were written in Kharoshti or Aramaic. So those were the languages that were used in the northwest area that was under the Greek control, or that was conquered from the Greek control of seculars. Also, these edicts were a source of important information that were written during that time. With the change of the heart, or the turning point in the life of Ashoka that was witnessed, Ashoka did all his best to spread peace and humanity across regions. So he himself sent his son and daughter, his son Mahendra and daughter Sangmitra were sent to the regions in the far off areas of Sri Lanka to preach the concepts of Buddhism and spread Buddhism. And also, this was one of the reasons that Buddhism gained momentum, and a lot of spread of Buddhism was seen in contrast to Jainism, both of the religions being contemporary during that time. Also, special officers were appointed who were known as Dharma Mahamatas, and those officers had an important role in spreading the concept of dharma, or the concept of religion. So preachings for tolerance, for humanity, were very important, and his works have been quoted by the Chinese scholar Fayan and many other scholars for his change that has been witnessed, the tolerance that he has shown to the various religions, and how he switched from conquering lands to conquering the mind of the people. So that was about the change in the life of Ashoka, a turning point that was witnessed. We would be covering many more interesting lectures in Indian history. Stay tuned. Have a wonderful day ahead.